When will the MMs and the CFOs be appointed by an independent, non-political panel so that they are fit for purpose and not cadre deployed?
When you asked the question the first time, you dodged it.
What have you done to support those municipalities? Because if you think it's going bad now, it's going to get a whole lot worse. I'm looking at it now. I'm just thinking about Kopanong. Outstanding to the pension fund is 330 million rand. Outstanding to Mohokare is 147 million. Mafube, 250 million rand. These are people that cannot retire because your municipalities are failing the people that works for them.
Why do you have mayors who preside over different terms of office over collapsing municipality, they still come back?
The CFOs, the municipal managers, even though they've been cited for previous transgressions, they seem to keep popping up in new municipalities. Are they not vetted? Are they not held accountable? And then they seem to resign just before the disciplinary process is concluded, or taken into process, and then forgotten about.
Lich.
Thank you, Chair. I was mostly covered by my colleague. Perhaps we can call it employee laundering, because that's how it feels. You move the employee from this municipality to that municipality.
In all honesty, I think for the last 9 years, not a single Free State municipality has had a clean audit, 9 years. But if we've seen for 9 years money being spent, 50 million being spent each year, but we're not seeing improved audit outcomes, is there a time to really go back to the drawing board to see what the money we're spending, are we getting value for money? And then
maybe that we'll ask about one example. We'll give two where there was an intervention. It was around Nala. Also Mohokare, where there was a change of leadership in those particular municipalities.
You said the parties, why do you have mayors who preside over different terms of office over collapsing municipality, they still come back? The same speakers, the same MM. We've got examples here. The same people have been there when they've been deteriorating outcomes, and then we ask for the answer. We don't get the answer here. We're asking you, what is your role when they don't perform and then the municipalities are going down, and what they are doing is something that's either criminal or something that's completely recorded as maladministration. I want to know your role.
If I had the power Chair, to tamper with the leadership of municipalities, a lot of different things could have happened. Don't
go that route. I don't think it's going to help you. But proceed with your answer. Don't go that route. Yeah, we're going to read your powers just now.
Can I?
The MEC have the power to remove a council. So it's not about politics. It's about your powers as the MEC.
Chair, I'm just concerned about each year we see that Provincial Treasury and Kochta spends large amounts on assisting municipalities. For instance, Provincial Treasury last year spent 51 million on Program 5, Municipal Finance Management. But despite these large amounts, 51 million being spent on municipalities to assist them, we're not seeing improvements. I think I'm concerned about the value for money. What evidence-based interventions and assistance is Treasury, but Kochta as well, and even the Office of the Premier doing? So these interventions or this assistance that's being given, where is that, is it evidence-based, research-based? I did hear there's going to be benchmarking done. And perhaps just as a comment, especially from these three departments.
Let's round up. You've lost your time.
Thank you, Chair.
Right, next.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the MEC has touched basically on it, just touched on it. The recycling of accounting officers, the CFOs, the municipal managers. Even though they've been cited for previous transgressions, they seem to keep popping up in new municipalities.
On municipalities to assist them, we're not seeing improvements. I think, in all honesty, I think for the last 9 years, not a single Free State municipality has had a clean audit, 9 years. But if we've seen for 9 years money being spent, 50 million being spent each year, but we're not seeing improved audit outcomes, is there a time to really go back to the drawing board to see what the money we are spending, are we getting value for money? And then perhaps just as a comment, especially from these three departments.
Let's round up. You've lost your time.
Thank you, Chair.
Right, next.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, the MEC has touched basically on it, just touched on it. The recycling of accounting officers, the CFOs, the municipal managers. Even though they've been cited for previous transgressions, they seem to keep popping up in new municipalities. Are they not vetted? Are they not held accountable? And then they seem to resign just before the disciplinary process is concluded, or taken into process, and then forgotten about.
There are several people who are part of the intervention team who were MMs. They've been removed. They are no longer part of that intervention team. Those who are already appointed and their contracts have expired, it has not been extended. So we are quite certain about that. There's no, when we speak about accountability of appointed officials, it is exactly for them to account on the work they will have done in their current employment when they seek to move to the next, so that they don't move the rod from one place to the other. And that is what we're standing firm around.
So they're never held accountable for the actual transgression they've done. And you can see that in the example of Mohokara, as well as
Mohokari.
Ngwate. There's quite a few of them. So the problem is you reach the bottom of the barrel. You have to, when will the MMs and the CFOs be appointed by an independent, non-political panel so that they are fit for purpose and not cadre deployed?
We are not moving, Chair, problematic accounting officials around. We have removed, upon arrival at the department, all those MMs who will have presided over disclaimers are no longer part of our team. I'm stating it as a fact. We have engaged even with Ngwate Municipality about the role of their current MM in Malutiapofung and his non-responsiveness to the AGs, particularly on the MIs, which is an issue that we felt should have been placed before the council before it decides, and that wasn't. And this is part of the elements that we have taken to court to demonstrate our seriousness about this particular issue.
Thank you, Chair. I was mostly covered by my colleague. Perhaps we can call it employee laundering, because that's how it feels. You move the employee from this municipality to that municipality. My question is then specifically with regards to the disciplinary boards. Do you have one disciplinary board for the whole of the Free State? Because in many cases the municipalities don't appoint these boards. And then if so, wouldn't you think that it would be proper for then, if a municipal manager or CFO is found guilty, that they be red flagged on a list, and that those municipal managers and CFOs are not allowed to be appointed again? And just a final one, why did you underspend, why did the province underspend on the employees that were supposed to give effect to the interventions? So you put the municipalities under intervention, but then you don't appoint the employees that must give effect to that. Thank you.
Chair, as we speak, the matter is in the court, whereas COGTA was seeking a declaratory order to nullify the Ngwate appointment. It is but one of the examples. There are many reasons why, but this is part of the key reasons to foster the accountability. We have gone to the municipalities where some of these officials are still there to raise the issues that we cannot continue with characters like this. We've got to make sure that within the system they are removed, because when they got employed, they said they are capable, they are credible, they can help the municipalities to deliver, they'll be held accountable. When they don't do that, we've got to force that particular accountability.
Thank you. On the letter from the Finance Minister, Gorongwana, on the withholding of the equitable share, I know it was gone to the MEC of Finance, for COGTA, whatever. What have you done to support those municipalities? Because if you think it's going bad now, it's going to get a whole lot worse. If I'm looking at it now, I'm just thinking about Kopanong. Outstanding to the pension fund is 330 million rand. Outstanding to Mohokare is 147 million. Mafube, 250 million rand. These are people that cannot retire because your municipalities are failing the people that works for them, that's in service. So what is this, Premier, and this really falls to you? What has been done? Thank you.
A quick question. I think on the question that was asked on the other side, I'm not sure who the honourable member is. She was speaking about the executives that are hired in the municipalities and they were being recycled. redundant people being recycled. I wanted to ask, does the MEC not give concurrence? Does the MEC not give concurrence on some of those appointments? And if he did, which one of those delinquent executives did he give concurrence on and why? Thank you, Chair.
The of Mansopa, I don't understand where does it, the relevance, Chair. In as far as I'm concerned, the was already there when I got into office. I never had to deal with the issues of concurrences. Therefore, it is true that he's arrested on a case that has to do with a former employer, which is what the police affected on. So as and when the issues arise, we do act. But all the MMs that have been appointed where we're picked up an issue of concurrences with the municipality. It is Ngwate, we are in court. It is Mafube, the MM has resigned. And in Malutapofu, the MM has got concurrence. And I think those are essentially the three that we have got. The other ones that have recently appeared, the reports have got to be processed through us in terms of Resolution 17, and we deal with it. So we will never recycle any from our past, especially when there are problems. We will come back with the reports as requested, including with the proof on the areas of concurrences as well as the case in Wate, because in Nalaso, because we are clear that there we've got an intervention that is ongoing as we speak. Thank you very much.
I would have loved to get an example to disprove him rather than asking him to answer the question the second time. I'll get him to comment, but I'm more interested in someone who's got a specific answer to disprove that. All right, you'll come in. All right. No, first, let's come this side first.
Thank you, Chair. I want to ask, with all the interventions from Treasury, Chair, with regards to the financial statements, I want to check, we are at the end of July now. Are all these municipalities going to be submitting financials at the 31st of August next month? Or are we going to be sitting with the same meeting, with the same explanations of interventions, but financials are not going to be submitted? Are you in a position to tell us that municipalities will submit these financials on time? Thank you.
Mkalifi, you got 20 seconds.
Okay, about my proposal, Chair.
Yes.
I was listening to you to give it to the MEC to say that he must come back with the issues. But I think, Chair, to be fair, we still need the MEC and the Premier, because now we are just asking drip and drabs. But there are so many municipalities that they need to account for. For instance, things that they are saying here is not true because we have information. Let me take one example. The Premier is saying Nala, there's an intervention. In Nala, they are failing to sit even on the 22nd of July now with that intervention. So they still have to come and account for all municipalities. But with this time that we have, Chair, is not going to do justice. That is my proposal.
No, they were going to come back. And I've been trying to restrain you because initially I didn't want them to answer too many questions, because I wanted them to come back. Because after all of the municipalities have spoken, we want to know what they say. So we will still get them back. That's why I'm also asking for the second, for that preparation, for that, because it's going to be now a picture across municipalities after they've actually showed us what their real problem is. On top of that, one of the issues which we'll have to deal with is to lift this issue up right to the level of the minister, because some of the problems of the failure of the municipalities has not got to do with them themselves. It's also got to do with the structure. So we'll come back to that. Direko?
Chair, mine is also on the officials, like how many municipalities that have appointed officials without the concurrence of the MEC, and what action has the MEC taken should they have those municipalities?
You got 15 seconds for the example.
Thank you, Chairperson. My example is Mantsopa Municipality. It's in the Eastern Free State. There, the municipal manager was arrested, but she may not be suspended from Mantsopa Municipality because she was in fact arrested for fraud and corruption in Twelepelo Municipality.
Okay, the question which Ms. Lisch is raising is that you are saying if someone was involved in a criminal activity in one municipality, would not then be appointed in another municipality. Now, what you are then saying is that you were not, you did not have to intervene in the, did you say in Kentwana? The
No,
Oh, sorry,
Mansopa.
Mansopa, yes.
Yes,
You
a reference was
mentioned
made about Mansopa.
Mansopa,
The
yeah.
MM was already in office, Chair.
No. The point here is that you may not have been in office when he was appointed or she was appointed, but it means you have to now look into it and tell us what is it that makes someone who was charged in a previous municipality, in this case, gets appointed in another municipality. You are not there, but what is it that makes them to continue with the employment if that's the case? So you'll have to check that and come back to us.
Chair, if I may correct, she was only charged recently when she was already appointed in Mansopa. So it's quite a fairly new case, Chair.
Oh, I see. So you are saying that the charge only became real now when she was in this. All right. I think that's fine. That's fine. That's the explanation I wanted to understand. If it wasn't known before, that's a different matter. The principle still stands. That what the members are saying, you can't have someone charged here and then appearing in the next municipality. But if you say it was not, it's a recent thing after the appointment, then of course I think we're dealing with a borderline case. You want to contradict?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, she was charged last year already. It is the same case with Masiliano, whose MM and CFO came over from Mafube. They were charged in Mafube, and they were in office by the time you came in, but the problem is that it's never been investigated, never taken further in both cases.
Okay. I think we're dealing with a borderline case here, in the sense that what we're looking at is if someone had a case in one municipality, can't be appointed in the other one. What you are now saying is that this one was appointed and then the case followed them. Right. If it followed them, that's an issue that we need to discuss. How we're going to deal with that. That's a slightly different question in this case.